Hey folks, John Licklin Outdoors. I'm going to talk to you today about my Haven tent, the Haven XL lay flat hammock. My experiences so far, I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to go over what I like, don't like, and I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks about, how to make sure this thing's working best for you. And I have had it for 2 years. I'm going to be going on year 3 here with it. I've done a ton of trips with it. I've gone to the Boundary Waters with it. I've camped on my own property. This is one of my campsites here on my hobby farm. I've gone camping all over Minnesota, Wisconsin. I've been in it through a few thunderstorms already. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. And here I'm going to give you a lot of reasons as to why I like it and why I would buy it again. I would absolutely buy this thing again. One of the best tents / hammocks I have ever had. Let's get a little closer into here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set it up here in a second, but first let's go over a little walk around and what I'm liking and don't like about this thing. So, first off, one, the construction's top quality. The way the ends are done are fantastic. The way it's integrated into the carabiner here. I really like that I can leave everything put together and pack it into its bag. And then when I go to take it out, I just clip the end onto the strap over there and pull the whole thing out and clip that end on. I don't got to mess around doing this piece, that piece, trying to figure out where my line's got to go. It's really easy to live with and work with. Especially if you're not camping all the time, it makes it even easier for you. So, other things I like, it does have decent ventilation. Obviously this is a full bug net on both sides. You have some ventilation here on the ends. When you're sitting in it, this tightens out a little bit more. And then I'm going to call it storm mode. It's the rainfly here comes down and it attaches to these points here, here, and here on both sides. So it's going to be windy and rainy. Batten down the hatches, and you can do it all from inside the hammock, meaning, you're not trying to crawl into it when it's all difficult to get into it. Next thing, so the guy lines are good. They're very reflective. So if you got a headlamp on, it's nighttime, these things glow like the sun. It's amazing. You see each one of those little diamonds on the rope there, those are reflective. So I wish I had reflective rope like this in the Army so I don't walk into so many flipping guy lines for tents and stuff, but it is what it is. These are great. You got your standard cam lock here. So if you want to tighten or loosen this guy line, you just cant to the side, up and down, good to go. This does not come with the carabiners. I bought those myself. That allows me to clip and declip from the rainfly, meaning I can put it in this mode right now without having to tie a new knot. So you're going to want to get little carabiners, period. All right, let's take another look here. All right, so as I said in the beginning, this is the XL. I originally bought the standard and it did not work for me. It was too small. I think they should probably just not make it. The difference in size is mostly negligible, so just make the bigger one. I am 5'10", 220 pounds, and the XL is the perfect size. Any smaller, it's going to be a little tight in the shoulders, and you're going to be, if you're trying to not get bit by mosquitoes and you're pushing up against the netting, doesn't do you much. So get the XL and just be happy. All right, so storage is great. Pockets, pockets, pockets on both ends. Pockets, pockets, pockets. You can hang stuff from here. It's great. Works out wonderful. And I'll talk a little bit more about some other stuff here in a second. But yeah, construction's really good. This is held up to 2 years of absolute abuse and use all over Minnesota and Wisconsin. Very happy. The pad is comfortable. It's insulated pad, this one is. I suggest just get the insulated one. You're not going to regret it. And it does have, think of it like a suspension bridge. That's what these lines are that you see around the inside. Acts like a suspension or an arch bridge. You see how we got that little arch going? So when you put your fat butt in there and lay down, you push, your body weight pushes down naturally on that point, and what that does is it causes it to get rigid and flatten out. So it ends up being a lay flat hammock. It's pretty slick. You can see the line there too. See that little line? So, great hammock. All right, so you can see what I'm talking about when I get into it. It's gonna flatten out when I sit in the middle, obviously. Right? You can see it across here, how it's kind of, obviously, I'm a fat guy, so that's what happens. When you lie down, it's going to flatten out a little bit more. Get my little pillow here. But again, I'm 5'10", 220 pounds, and I have plenty of room for my wide shoulders, for my feet to my head. I'm not hitting anything. I get plenty of room to lay in here. I am able to lay on my side, my stomach, and my back comfortably. It's a pretty slick setup. Speaking of setup, why don't we set this thing up, and I'll go over some more of those features again. I'll probably hit a couple of them again. All right, so let's get this set up. Do a little disconnect from there. Remove the sleeping pad. Now you have the tent with everything in it. Open this little guy up. Grab your straps. Put the straps up. Keep in mind, these straps are not the ones that come with the kit. These are straps I cannibalized off of another hammock that I have because I like these straps better. These are just regular Kodiak straps, I think is the brand. Yeah, Kodiak strap. But really any strap that you prefer, go ahead and go with. The stock ones are a little short, and I don't think they're really as strong as other options out there. So expect you're probably going to want to get different ones at some point. Although what comes with it does work. Alright, so there we go. Straps are up. Let's grab our hammock here. I always clip the ends together, like this is both ends of the hammock right here. So I clip them together when it all goes back in, so it's where I need it. So we're just going to take one end. I like to go on the lowest. Being this far away, I don't have to go to the lowest, I guess. I can go a little bit higher up. Start. Just clip around there. Grab the other end. Grab the bottom. Pull that thing out. Like that. Now we'll strap the other end on here. Alright, so it's up. That's the first step here that we got to do. Next thing I do is I pull my guy lines out, because this is all together. You don't have to take it apart to put it back in the bag. You can leave it all together as one piece and just shove the thing in there, which is pretty dang nice, because then you don't have to put it up piece by piece and screw it around. This allows you to have it all ready to go, and you just see how quickly that went up right there. That's why. So I got my lines all untangled. I'm just going to throw this end over. Give myself some room to work. Let's zip this thing open here. She's open. This was in the bag with it. This is the two poles and the stakes. So we'll open that little guy up. There we go. Little nunchucks. Alright, boom, look at that. Two poles. I'm going to throw the one in there because I'm going to do it one at a time. Get these little loops in here. Shove it in. And there's another pocket for it on the other side. Just shove it in there as well. Just got to be, able to do it here. Alright, there's one. Do the other one. Shove that in so. Shove that in like there. Alright, good deal. So, my stakes are on the ground because I just tossed them out of the bag. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blow up this air mattress. Actually, a sleeping pad that comes with it. This is the insulated pad. I suggest just get the insulated pad. Don't try to save it $5 or $10. You get the non-insulated. There's my little pillow that I always keep in here. So, this little guy, they do make it where you can like push this on, like this is obviously the case for it. You can click it on and use that to like try to pump it up. It's more of a pain in the butt than it's worth, so don't bother. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna open it up right inside of there. Now it's inside of there, we're gonna blow it up, but I'm not gonna show you that because that's boring. All right, so I blew the air mattress up. This little guy is blowing up. Just gotta shove it down in there. There's little pockets in each corner for it. Pretty easy. I'll show you that in a minute. But Just make sure it's in the pocket for each corner. All right, so big step's done. Now what we're going to do is adjust our straps and straighten things out and tighten it up, because now it's set up. So get whatever end your head's going to be on, make sure it's a little bit higher than your feet, you know, unless you like blood rushing to your head, whatever you're into. So stretch this out as much as I can. Let's do a little bit tighter on there, I think. We'll raise this strap up a little bit. Get this kind of fine-tuned. Better, that's better. You kind of want this when there's nobody in it. You want it to be about mid-thigh to maybe your waist, because that gives you enough clearance from the ground to be able to sit down and get in and out easy. In this instance, I would like it a little bit tighter. Oh yeah, that's perfect right there. All right, so you see this is, you see my belt here. It's about mid-thigh right now. So I can get down. You can obviously see that it settles down quite a bit. When you lie down, it'll go a lot flatter. And then after you use it for a little bit, it'll kind of stretch out a little bit, and you'll be able to tighten the straps a little bit more if you need to. Let's hop out of here. So we've got it adjusted for tension. We have the mattress in there, or the sleeping pad. Now let's do the guy lines. So since I don't need to be inside of it at the moment, let's zip that up, keep any bugs out of there. Let's flip this little guy back over. All right, so let's guy it down. What I like to do is just do this. That one goes over there, that one goes over there, that one goes over there, and this one goes right here. So I'm going to nail these down. All right, so as you can see, the top's been guyed down on all four corners. I readjusted the strap a little bit because I wanted this a little higher, so I did that. Mattress is in there, good to go. All your bags for the goodies will fit obviously inside of the bag that it all rolls into. And then just take this little guy, just shove it in one of the pockets inside, and there you go. She's set up. Let's go around about some more stuff here. Okay, so a little closer look here. So here it is, stretched out. You see the guy line coming off right to there, onto the ground. Now these do have a cam lock on it, so if you need to adjust the tension in the wire, all you do is just grab cant to the side and then pull. You can make it looser or tighter, whatever you want to do. So the good thing about having those cam, like the locking cam on these guy lines here, is that obviously if it rains or just from it being used, it'll kind of stretch out. This allows you to keep the tension where you want it without having to mess around with any retying knots and stuff like that. So let's do a walk around, starting the outside, working my way in here. And I'll talk about some things that I've done as well. So when you get this kit, it does not come with these little carabiners here. I bought these on Amazon for like $5. I got like a case of 10 of them, I think. And all I've done is I've tied each guy line off to it and clipped it onto here on every corner, because say it's not raining and you want to sit in here and enjoy the weather, you can leave the guy line in the ground and just unclip this thing and flip this guy over. So why don't we do that? All right, since I'm doing the camera by myself, I have to shut the camera off to do that. But anyway, unclipped it, just let it drop on the ground on both sides. Doesn't matter, it's fine, it'll survive. It'll just sit on the ground. Now let's take a look at this a little closer. So here's the ends here, right? This is usually a point of contention I have with a lot of hammocks, is all that weight from you being in here and whatever you're doing is on both ends coming to this point here. Now they have a pretty decent carabiner. The rainfly integrates into it, as you can see how that goes there, like that. And then the rest of the hammock goes onto these lines here. Let's see if I can get a better look here. There we go. Goes into here and it's wrapped so it doesn't unravel, keeps it nice and neat. And then it goes around the carabiner here. There's no frayed ends, nothing to get messed up, nothing to have just pop on you. And again, you can see the rainfly, you can take it on or off if you want, but I just leave everything on. But it's like that on both ends. It's very, very sturdy. It'll hold my fat butt. All right, so this is undone. Let's flip her over. There, now she's flipped over. Now I can sit there and enjoy the nice weather we're having. Or if I want to do both ends, I can unclip the sides over there, roll this whole thing up, and then there's ties on here somewhere. Yeah, these little guys right here. So you can bundle the whole thing above you. But don't need to do that. Just flip her over, call her good. And if it's a little windy and you want it flipped over, that's another nice thing about having these guys, is I can pull that down there and clip both onto the same one here. So these little clips do double duty and make things a lot easier for you when you're camping here. All right, let's work our way in. So one thing I'm gonna talk about, I've been in camping on this thing a lot. Let's look at this here. So I have had issues with mosquitoes getting in, especially camping up in the boundary waters. And the issue is right here. See that? It doesn't quite close up all the way. And they have this little cover here, I guess, to help with that. But it's like that on both ends. So all that I do when I'm camping is I like shove a sock or some piece of clothing up here between the bug nut and the main line where my finger is. See that right there? So like shove a sock or something up in here, and then I just push that thing all the way up into this spot here to close that gap, and it keeps all the critters from getting into the hammock. And you're still able to close the zipper even with that sock or whatever you have up there. That's really the only issue I've had with the bugs as far as this hammock goes. All right, so let's open it up. Why don't we do that? All right, so for video's sake, I'm going to flip this little guy out of the way. Look at that. Okay. So that's what you're working with here now. So, like we talked about earlier, little pockets for the corners. It's like that on every corner for the mattress. This is my little blow-up pillow that I like to use. This is the bag of all the goodies, all the packaging. Of course, you got pockets here, pocket there. Same exact thing at the other end down there, same 3 pockets. Plus you have the main line here that you can hang up to, I think, like 35 pounds or 40 pounds or something off of, like a pack. But most people are not going to do that. You're going to put your pack underneath. But this allows you to, like, let's say you have maybe a wet shirt or some wet pants, or you just have your change of clothes you're going to change into. You can just hang them on here like a clothesline and shove them up into the corner. You don't get any bugs on it, keeps it out of the weather because you have the rain fly, all the good stuff. And you have this right here, you can use to tie things off. Of course, I have an extra carabiner that I throw on here so I can, you know, hang in here whatever I want, like a lantern or what have you. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. There's a little post that goes in, there's the pocket that goes on each end. Same thing down there, and super comfortable. So let's talk about the last feature on here I haven't covered. So let's say you're camping, or in my case in the boundary waters, and it's going to get really rainy and really windy. Well, lucky for you, this thing takes care of you in that aspect. Fold this guy down. Let's say it's all zipped up. Let's pretend it's all zipped up. And you see this right here? See this little guy right there, the little slit? That attaches to this in the corner. You can do it from inside the hammock. So you can just reach down, attach that to that. And then in the middle, you see this little guy right here? That is for this. And that just clips on right there. And then on this end, same dealio again, that on the corner. And it's the exact same thing mirrored on the other side of the hammock. And what that does is, if it's going to be rainy and windy and kind of crazy, a little stormy, you can get in, batten everything down, and just ride out the storm and, I don't know, play on your phone or read a book, think about life, your decisions that brought you to this storm, whatever you want to do. But it works really well.